joining us right now on this new trend and phenomenon. Scott Gottlieb is the former commissioner of the FDA. He's also a CNBC contributor and a board member, of course, we should mention, of Illumina and Pfizer. Maybe this was inevitable. We knew that folks were going to try to take advantage of this. Does this make sense? Is this food going to be fundamentally different?
Well, look, I think it could be. It depends on how they're going to formulate it. I think the focus here is twofold. First of all, we know that certain foods potentiate the action of GLP-1, so macronutrients, basically whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats, everything you'd think of in a healthy diet. Second, we see the potential for nutritional deficiencies in patients and people who are on these drugs who are caloric restricted. So you see potential for vitamin deficiencies, vitamin D, calcium, and also when you have a decreased caloric intake, your body starts to mobilize protein from the muscle as a source of energy, because muscle is a very good source of energy for your body when your body's not getting enough calories. And that's why you see some of the skeletal muscle loss with these drugs that people are concerned about. So presumably if you have a diet where you're taking in obviously smaller portions because you have early filling from these drugs, you don't have the same appetite, but that diet, those foods are more nutritious, have higher protein concentration, that could be very helpful.
Doctor, though, isn't the truth that maybe we should all be eating this stuff? I mean, if the issue is that we're not having enough look, most Americans aren't having enough protein to begin with. When you're on these drugs, as we talked about, you almost have to force feed yourself protein so you can, not lose muscle mass at the same time that you're losing fat. Is this food specific in your mind to folks who are on these drugs relative to all the other foods we eat?
No, it's certainly not specific, but I don't think that they're going to market these products in a way that it's part of a sort of overall healthy diet. I don't think my guess is that by eating portions of what Nestle markets in this special product line, you're not going to be getting the equivalent of a diet of someone who's on a GLP-1 drug. There obviously are programs that do try to replicate those diets, which are associated with decreased caloric intake, things like the Mediterranean diet. So we have seen people step into this marketplace and offer reduced caloric diets that have high nutritional content, high protein, that could replicate what someone on a GLP-1 is doing if they're doing it right.
Would you be shorting food companies right now? I mean, given all that we've heard about the idea that so many Americans could ultimately be on these drugs?
Yeah, look, I think that's overblown because I think companies are going to do exactly what we're seeing here. They're going to pivot to different kinds of foods and find different ways to market it. The challenge that companies face, and you see this with this particular product line, is they can't make overt claims on packaging that's associated with the diet itself, or it becomes a medical food. So what they've said is they're going to leave the claims off the packaging, and they explicitly said this, something to this effect, but they're going to pull it through on social media, the connection to the GLP-1 drugs. I think ultimately a regulatory pathway that allows food companies to make qualified claims on health labels more easily would incentivize more companies to try to produce healthful foods and foods that fit into healthy diets. There's pathways to do that right now to be able to make those claims on food labels, but they're difficult to navigate. The evidentiary bar is very high to get a food claim onto a packaging of a food label.
Given what you know about the success of these drugs thus far and what's in development when it comes to putting this in a form factor like a pill, potentially as early as 2 years out from now, what percentage of adult Americans do you think will ultimately be taking this drug, call it 5 or even 10 years from today?
Yeah, look, right now it's about 5%. That's people who are taking the drug both for weight loss as well as for diabetes. The estimates from the Wall Street firms go as high as 9 to 10% by the year 2030. Just to give you sort of a baseline, about a quarter of the population's on a statin. I wouldn't be surprised if the portion of the population that get on these drugs is over 10%, especially as we see all these secondary benefits and other diseases from these drugs, and especially as there seems to be more evidence emerging that these drugs might have benefits beyond just the weight reduction, that some of the cardiac benefits we're seeing come from secondary metabolic impacts that these drugs are happening that are apart from just the weight reduction. That still is TBD. We don't know the answer to that question. But if it becomes true, and if we see through evidence that these drugs are having benefits beyond just the weight reduction, I think that's going to drive more utilization.